Crisp. Very crisp.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the BT Peak podcast, where we go beyond the program with everything coaching, bodybuilding, and lifestyle fitness. My name's Timmsy, and I'm joined by my co-host Pang. Mate, tell me about your week. What's been going on?
Mate, that was a very good first intro for you. Very, very well done. My week, mate, it's been a good one. Prep is moving well. So I'm now officially 8 weeks out from the first show of the season, which is super exciting. Hit a new body weight low this morning. So 79.7 on the scale, which is wild. Getting pretty lean now, which is awesome as well. But had a few speed bumps a few weeks ago, had some sleep disruptions, had a little bit of a digestive disruption. But this week has been pretty smooth sailing. Definitely still getting some energy level drops.
Yeah.
I feel like after 3 p.m. is not that great, to be honest with you. So mornings are good. I'm feeling very productive in the morning. So scheduling a lot of my work to be in the morning, and all my PT clients that get me in the morning are getting the best version of me. And then get training boxed off. And then I have to go back in twice a week for afternoon PTs. But it's not too bad.
Are they like, a fair work block hours in the afternoon, or is it like 1 or 2? Like, is it a short?
It's usually 3 or 4.
Yeah,
so it's usually 3 or 4 clients in the Arvo, depending on the day. And the only other thing is the cold. Like I'm really cold all the time, but you just rug up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the gym that I work in, people leave the windows open overnight. So it just it's an ice block, and you just can't get warm at any point.
It's not frost on the actual machines themselves.
Oh, mate, those dumbbells are cold as hell. Like, they sting. But yeah, everything's going well. Training performance is holding pretty well as well. This is probably the best my training has been in a prep setting in a lot, ever.
Good.
So yeah, maintaining muscle mass as a result. Feel like I'm not falling too behind. Like a rep might drop here or there on a big squat pattern, or you might have a day where you drop a couple of reps and then the next one's a little bit better. Like that sort of thing, it all levels out. But in terms of on average, training performance has been wild.
I saw that 170 RDL, and that was a fucking clean set, might I say. That was
Scotty didn't think so. Scotty told me to slow it down, but I said to him that I was just really excited. But yeah, I'm still
going to say that.
Yeah, he's such an ass. Give me some credit, mate. Come on.
Has he given you the calm within the chaos yet?
Yep, he's giving me the calm within the chaos. He's giving me the levels of minutia.
Yep.
Just focus on eccentric cadence and yada, yada, yada. We love Scotty.
I get soft knees from Scotty all the time.
What does he mean by soft knees?
And when I lock out the rep, I don't fully lock out my knees. Like they sit soft essentially. And like every single check-in for like a month, or probably longer, to be honest, I've gotten soft knees, and it's kind of a bit of a thing. I'm like, this week I'm not going to get soft knees.
It's like when I'm doing posing lessons with Humie, it's back quad.
Yeah.
Back quad. I'm like, fuck, I'm trying, man. Doing my best.
No, it's good to hear, man. You, prep people, a lot of time people use prep as an excuse to lower their training intensity and stuff like that. But, the real thing, it's not just, about maintaining the muscle in the off season. It's also in prep. You've got to keep those levels of intensity high. Otherwise you will quite literally lose what you've made.
100%. And I think I used to give into that narrative. I used to be like, strength's going to drop off. I might as well just half-ass it. But I think in this most recent off-season, I found new levels of intensity, as we all do.
Yeah.
As you go through the training journey, you just increase intensity naturally. But I think I found a different level, a different motivation, sort of figured out that I might not have been training hard enough in previous off-seasons and preps. And one of my goals was to carry that forward through prep. And I'm still, like you said, 170 RDL, I didn't do that in the off-season. So
yeah.
Stiff leg deadlifts I'd never done in the off season. Hack squats I'd never gone to a gym with a proper hack squat. Made that a priority, and so yeah, I'm still hitting PBs in certain areas, which is awesome.
Crazy.
But yeah, enough about me, Timsy. What about you, mate? How's your week been? Give us an update on the shoulder. Tell me about it.
Well, okay, so cortisone shot went in 2 weeks ago, so we're back doing rehab exercises now. Just banded stuff and a bit of cables, just face pulls, kind of keeping those elbows high. But yeah.
So for the viewers, just give a bit of context as what's going on with your shoulder
Yeah,
and like
of course.
tell us your
Yeah.
injury.
So about a month ago, or probably just a bit over, I was overhead drilling at work into slabs of concrete all day. And if anyone's seen a Milwaukee hammer drill with a vacuum attachment, it is not light. So if you're consistently overhead drilling, it's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. But I'm used to it. You know, and a lot of the time when that's happened previous in the past, I've gone into my sessions kind of already knowing that my shoulders might not be performing as best as they have been, which is kind of, you know, the trade-off you get when working in the industry. But anyway, went to the gym. I did my normal, normal start to the session. My warm up for my overhead shoulder press didn't feel good, and I'm like, it's all right, she'll be fine. Went to my next warm up weight, went to do like 2-3 reps, and I'm like, yeah, okay, something's not right here. This is not going well. So I immediately just stripped it back and tried to do like a real light set, and that was aggravating it. So I'm like, okay, well, pull the pin on this. I'm just not going to touch it. Went on to do chest and then my back because it was an upper day. And they all went really, really well. And then from there onwards, it just kind of got worse with everything I did. Work, gym, kind of just got me into like a real big pickle, and I wasn't improving. So went to see an osteo, went a couple of times with him. Shout out to Ease. They are absolute weapons over there. Tom, he is a miracle worker. Worked on me a few weeks and then basically said it's probably time to get a scan. Got an ultrasound. And then found out that I can't remember what the word is, but there was something wrong with it. It wasn't major, but we needed a cortisone shot. So that went in last week, gave it a full week to heal, another week now. And now we're just back starting rehab exercises. So a lot of band work. And then I'm seeing Tom again next week to potentially, everyone needs to cross their fingers and their toes, potentially start training upper body again, in some capacity, whether it be like just really, really light lows or anything. Because at the moment I'm training legs 3 times a week. It's fantastic, but I'm not going to the gym 5 times a week, and it is literally killing my soul.
Yeah. How do you find that adjustment going from like 5-day hard training to 3-day leg training? No bracing through the shoulder either. I see you on like the leg extension, just like almost slinging it up.
Yeah, because a lot of the time, well, that's how originally I was training. My normal leg sessions twice a week. It was fine, but on a hack squat movement, I was doing a warm up and I grip up like this, and then it was literally the stupidest thing on the warm up. I just pushed a little bit too hard, and I ended up flapping my arms up to kind of like push yourself up, and it just went again. And then basically my osteo said, yeah, let's just strip everything back. Like, do not use your shoulder at all to brace anything. And then, thankfully I have such a good coach, Scotty, who basically just rewrote a whole program for me that didn't involve anything like that. And it has been tough. Like mentally, that session where I hurt it again in the hack squat was a tough session. I got a bit emotional, purely because of the fact that it's something that I hold very dear to my heart. Training, like it's my time. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours of the day where I can sit and just, well, not sit, but just be alone in my own thoughts and be, 100% focused on myself. And pulling that away, as some people would, you get emotional. So yeah, it was a difficult time, but I washed it off. Obviously, again, had a really good supportive coach that walked me through it and said, "Look, this is happening happening for you, not to you." And yeah, here we are. We're fighting back, man. We're on the mend. So fingers crossed next week we should see some more training going down. But as of this time right now, we're just doing 3 leg sessions, which has been fun. It's actually been some really enjoyable sessions. Pushing just quads and just tammy. So really enjoying it. But other than that,
what's your recovery like in terms of 3 leg sessions?
Phenomenal. I'm like, recovery for me has always been very, very important. Always focused on sleep, stuff like that. I mean, it's hard not to recover when you're in just under 5,000 calories a day.
That's very true.
So yeah, sleep's always good. Obviously there's a few nights of disruption throughout the week and stuff like that, but majority of the time sleep's always bang on. And yeah, just making sure to, just prioritize everything as much as possible. It's one of those things. And like, because with anything, you get used to kind of the amount of volume and the sessions you do. Like, what I'm doing right now in terms of training, someone that's just starting the gym couldn't do. They wouldn't be able to recover from it. But I've been doing it for 4 years now. So I'm used to that type of volume. I'm used to the type of training, the intensity, stuff like that. So, from a recovery point of view, I'm sweet.
Nice. Very good. What else has been happening, mate?
So other than that, man, we made some really big strides in the Cert 4. So I've basically submitted every single assessment except for 2 practicals, which I'm going to try and rope you in on one of them.
Am I getting the call up?
Yeah, well, I've got to do a group session class via Zoom, like via an online call.
Oh,
So
that's right.
I need to get 6 people together and run them through just basically like a body weight session. In the terms of like running it through a Zoom call, not being there in person. So I might have to rope you in, but yeah,
That is so wild. Is it specifically Zoom?
it's an online platform that you can like see. I'll actually probably use the platform we're using right now just purely because it's it
What the
works
heck?
better. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so random, but yeah. So I've got to film 2 more assessments like that, with everything else being submitted already, literally just waiting for marking. So we're making some really, really big strides. They have a system saying like 10 business days they'll mark it. So within I think probably 7 more days, 99% of my stuff should be marked and should be completed and back to me, which is crazy to think about. And then obviously once I do these last 2 assessments, I'll submit those and mark them. But we are very much on track to finish in July, like in the month of July, which I'm absolutely stoked about. And then from there, I'll just be trying to get some weekend work as PT, and then eventually move on to bigger and better things, which we'll keep on the down low for now. But there's a lot coming in the future, which I'm really, really excited for. And then, yesterday we actually had the first season B show for NBA. So if anyone out there doesn't know, I'm side stage / stage manager. So alongside my beautiful mate MG, he's the greatest MC to ever walk this planet Earth. So basically,
you guys are so cute. Whenever you guys post a video of you guys hugging at the end of the day, I'm like, has something gone wrong? Like, you guys are saying goodbye forever, but no, that's just how you guys say goodbye.
Mate. It's just the thing. Yeah. It's like you can't fake passion, and like what we do in the shows, and like the way we approach every athlete, the way we approach every category, like the entire day. People will ask me all the time, like, how do you stay so motivated? It's like it's so easy when you do something you love and you're surrounded by people who are also doing something they love. Like every single competitor, whether they're nervous, whether they're absolutely super excited to be there, they all bring such amazing energy. And as well, they have incredible bodies. Like they have worked incredibly hard to bring a physique like that to stage. So it is just so easy to bounce off them and to keep the energy levels high all day.
And from a competitive standpoint as well, like you are so stressed on show day a lot of the time,
100%.
especially if like you're in a different state, you haven't been to an interstate show before. It might be nationals, you've never done nationals before. Something might go wrong, like in the morning, you might just be in that like stressed out state. You might be running behind a little bit. That kind of naturally happens at most shows. So having people side stage there to settle you and just like tell you where to go, tell you how long until you're on. What's the timeline like? Like it makes such a difference.
100%, man. And like obviously being in that position where they are, I know how they feel. I'm literally getting goosebumps because I remember what it felt like. So like, having someone that's literally telling you, okay, this is what you need to do, go do it. And then just give you that last little bit of boost and encouragement before you step on stage. Like literally every single competitor before they step on stage, I say, take a deep breath, smile. You've worked hard for this. Go out there and crush it. And
perfect.
It's awesome, man. And the feedback I get from people as well, it makes it so much easier because I know that they take the feedback really well. So it's
it can make or break a show experience. Like I've had shows where the side stage helpers have almost hindered you more than it helped. And then in the opposite experience, I've had ones where everyone was like perfectly on time. And if they weren't on time, they were honest with how far they were out. And they knew exactly what they were doing. And it makes or breaks an experience for you.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, so basically like I send them out and they do their eye walk and head to the line, and then I'll actually go out on stage and pretty much tell them directly where they need to stand if they're standing in between a number or in between two numbers. I've also got some green arrows in my shoes, which are
I saw that. That is a very smart move.
Bit of a laugh. So yeah, it's something that I think is very vital in like the athlete experience in a sense. But like, I mean, it's not just me, like the backstage helpers that I have at every show, like especially Melbourne that just went, like the 2 Hannahs, they absolutely smashed it. Steph, everyone else behind the scenes, getting them up into the point of jumping on stage. They do incredible work. It is not a show run just by a couple of people. It takes a village to run a show as successfully as that. So, but other than that, man, the competitors yesterday were insane. Like there was some really high quality athletes, and Gold Coast is in like I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks is going to be absolutely mega, man. It's going to be a good season B show. So.
Yeah, I was interested to hear what the numbers were like because the winter season is obviously still very new. I think this is the second year of winter seasons. What were the numbers like?
Around 40 competitors from memory. Yeah, a decent show. I mean, like you're always going to get people that are kind of either bridge from season A to B or like vice versa, bridge from B to season C. So, but like you said, it is a new season, so it's not everyone's priority to jump into that season. So, but yeah, man, it was.
There is also the fact that IFBB Natties are on at the same time, so it's kind of like people are there, but they might not be there for that specific show.
Yeah.
Like the season itself might be quite large, but the shows themselves are going to be up and down.
We could talk about IFBB Natties all day.
Oh man, like some of the winners from IFBB Natties.
We might have to
save
that for another episode.
My God.
But no, man, like I said, the caliber of athletes just like with every season they improve. Like regardless of what season it is, you get some athletes that just come out of the woodworks, or literally people that have never stepped on stage before and just like, where the hell have you been hiding? Because that is like already such an incredible physique.
Yeah, yeah. It's like watching from the sidelines. It's almost like it gives you that extra motivation because you can fall into that sense of complacency of like, oh, I'm there, I'm doing what I need to do. And then you see some of the people get posted who win and you go, oh shit, I better like give myself a kick up the ass.
Literally, like, bro, I'm like, what is it, 797 days out from technically season 2008. But I'm thinking about pushing that back even more. Like every time I go to a show and I see the people that are winning, I'm like, oh, shit, I need more time. I need more time.
You should be competing in season C 2028, mate. You got to do it to know where you're at. That's the thing. Like, I know. You can't put it off too long.
It's also like, I have, I think, higher expectations of what I really want to achieve. And I don't want to do anything half-assed. It's never been my thing. I always want to do it 100%. Yeah. So if I'm not ready, if, I have the honest chat with Scotty and he goes, look, you might do well in the lineup, but you're not going to be, in that conversation with the top three, then I don't think I'll entertain the idea because, obviously I want to win, but I also want to bring a package to the stage that I'm a lot more proud of than what I did last season. As simple as that. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, other than that, like, yeah, the NBA show was awesome. The vibe, everything like that. I mean, it's such a good experience. I mean, I love doing it, especially, being side stage with MG. No matter who comes across, on the day, how many competitors the show is, his level of energy is always just, sky high. And it's so easy to be around that type of passion and type of person when, you can literally just feed off them and, it equates to everyone. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But other than that, man, Sunday today, I meal prepped, did some check-ins this morning, and now we're recording the podcast with the great man himself.
That's it, man. What a way to finish off the weekend.
That's
4
it,
o'clock on a Sunday arvo.
So let's get into like the topic of this episode, which is basically getting started into the fitness industry. And I know that you did mention that last podcast you mentally weren't ready for it. So do you want to like kind of elaborate on it? Because we didn't exactly have a proper conversation behind that last week.
Yeah. So to elaborate on that point, I think I'd just gotten out of year 12 and I was having a gap year and I was doing full-time hospitality, 2 jobs, cafe during the day, restaurant at night. So was enjoying that. But people were like, when you get out of school and everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your life? And so someone did mention like being a personal trainer. And when I looked into it, all my 19-year-old brain got at the time was you have to pay to do a course to do it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't want to go to uni. I'm not a university type of person. I don't do very well with study and especially time-based study.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. You have to find your own clientele base and you're often really, really quiet in the early goings because you have to start it up yourself. These all sounded like horrendous things to me at the time. And then when I decided to actually try and become a coach when I was 23, all these statements are still true. Like nothing had changed in terms of those statements. But I think, I'd just done my first bodybuilding prep. I just got into a new relationship, which was very, very supportive. Like we'll go into that in a future episode, I think, about relationships in fitness and bodybuilding. But I don't think I would have done a lot of these things without her support and without my family support and my friends' support as well. Yeah. So I definitely had a better support crew around me at that time. And the conversation was like, what have you got to lose? So yes, money might be a little bit tight for a couple of months. Yes, you're going to have to pay for the course and you're going to have to knuckle down and do something yourself, and you're going to be your own business owner and you're going to have to go and find clients. All those statements were still true, but I think I was mentally ready to put myself out there a little bit more, because it's quite daunting as well. Like, own business owner, you got to start social media, you got to like go out and meet people. Like, it can be quite mentally daunting for a lot of people. So yeah, I don't think I was mentally ready when I was 19 years old. Still a massive party animal at that point, and was just focused on, well, I'm working like 8 hours at a cafe plus 5 hours at a restaurant, and I'm making bank money, and I can spend all that on my weekends, and I was fine with that. But then as you get a little bit more mature and you put yourself out there, that barrier of entry just sort of dropped off a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I meant by like I wasn't mentally ready. Was all the statements were still true. I just wasn't willing to take that step and put myself out there.
100%.
What about you, man? Like, what was the thing that ticked you over into, I want to start being a coach and a PT?
Well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've always had that kind of idea. It's like, I'd love to help people. And it's just the type of person I am. Like, I'm always, that people pleaser type of person. I always want to make sure everyone else is fine before myself. It's sometimes put at a detriment to myself, which I'm kind of getting better at kind of learning the barriers between that. But, I've always wanted to be in the fitness space. And I mean, straight coming out of school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had like literally no idea if I wanted to go to uni, where I saw my life. I just had no direction. And so, the whole gist of it is I just followed in my father's footsteps and in my brother's footsteps. I joined the trade. I became a sparky. I was like, okay, well, straight away I can earn great money. I can get paid to get my call. Like, you get paid to go to school and get your qualification, which is fantastic. And, it's a safe, secure job for 4 years while I'm doing my apprenticeship that, I don't really need to worry about money because I know money's coming in every week. And it wasn't till like, I started doing more around bodybuilding, getting more involved in it, competing, getting my circle of bodybuilding friends. Well, basically my circle. That's all. They're all bodybuilding friends now. That is literally the circle. But yeah,
Do you have any mates that aren't bodybuilders anymore?
I'm actually trying to I don't think so. I think like
it's grim, isn't it?
Not necessarily not bodybuilders, but people like involved in fitness and like, some sort of sport, or like have that kind of that mindset of, trying to do better at something. But no, I don't think I do. I think like 99% of my people are in that sport, in bodybuilding.
I'm very similar to you. I've got a small little group of friends that are from school that I feel like are going to be the mates for life, but they're also very sporty as well. Like, same thing. They understand bodybuilding and they understand the diet side of it, but they're very much like, okay, we're not going to do that. And I'm like, that's fair.
Absolutely. Like 100%. Like Jackson, like one of my best mates, we went to Adelaide last year. We drove up there in his car, in his mum's Winnebago. And, he has never stepped on a bodybuilding stage, but he follows the bodybuilding life. And it was such an easy trip because we're like, okay, let's stop here at this town, go for a walk, have a meal here. Let's stop at this town, go for a walk, have a meal here. And it was like, you didn't have to worry about if you're going to hit your steps, if you're going to get your meals in, because you were both on the same page. Just like, okay, I have to eat at this time, I have to eat at this time. So like the trip was easy because we were both on the same schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes such a difference.
100%. Yeah. So going back to it, so obviously I did the trade and, along the lines, got more involved in bodybuilding, and I wanted to start my Cert 3 for such a long period of time. Like, I just wanted to do it, but I never did it because I was scared. I was scared to take that jump. Like I've mentioned a few times on my Instagram and stuff like that. It was just a decision that I wasn't ready to make because I was scared of the outcome, scared of actually taking that leap and making it real. So again, it was, basically for my friends it's actually on, I think it was at the end of one of the TMG retreats. A few of my mates, Mads, Shay and Jackson, pretty much we all sat around dinner and just talked about it. And they were like, why don't you do it? Like, what is stopping you? You're perfect for this thing. And then, so literally after a conversation with them telling me that I need to pull my head out of my ass, I basically, signed up and started it. This was literally this time last year. I told Scotty about it, which was like one of the biggest things I was like so scared about, which I don't know why.
Why were you scared of that?
I don't know. It's just like this psychological barrier I put myself through. It was like, oh, what if he says, oh, you're not going to be a good coach? And it's like, shit, well, there goes everything. It was literally like the scariest conversation I had with him. And once I had that conversation, what he said? He was like, he was so invested. He's like, oh, really happy for you. I'll give you a bunch of different options that you should pick. And he's like, if you have any questions, reach out. And the thing is, I knew I was going to get that support, but I just couldn't I stopped myself for some stupid reason from ever doing it because I put these myself in a box. I just couldn't do it. So thankfully I did start my Cert 3, finish that, and now we're very, very close to finishing my Cert 4, which I am very, 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 very excited about, which is really, really cool.
Isn't that wild though that we've both got that story of being too scared to jump in it until a support crew comes around?
100%.
Like sometimes you just need that little bit of like, not that you need a push to go do it, but you just need to know that there's a hand behind you ready to catch you if something does go wrong.
I saw a thing on Instagram the other day. It's like you always overthink everything that could go wrong, but you never overthink about everything that could go right.
Yes.
Like, so
Yes,
you're
100%.
always putting yourself in this bubble and in this box that you limit yourself and limit what you're able to achieve. But the second you break free from that box, the second you go, you know what, I don't care what other people think, I'm going to give this a red hot crack. It is like one of the most freeing feelings. Again, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm literally like living proof of like it happening. Like I broke free from that box. I'm doing all these things to better my future and to put myself in a spot where I really want to be in. And it's literally liberating. Like I wake up every single day with so much motivation and so much like just discipline to just achieve my goals because I know how to get there now. I know I've set the path out and I know exactly where I'm heading.
And it's one of the most fulfilling industries that you can get into. Like
100%, bro.
knowing that you are making a difference in someone's life in terms of, whether that's how they feel, how they look, what their strengths like, you can have some amazing outcomes from coaching itself. That being said, it's not all glamorous. Let's clarify that. And I think I have had a few people come to me with questions of being like, oh, should I start in the fitness industry? And I always like ask, oh, well, why do you think it's good for you? And my pet hate is, oh, I think I'd be a really good online coach and I want to work remotely and I just want to like go to a cafe and do check-ins on a Monday and then have that as my life. And I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, man.
That's not
That don't happen. Your hours are still quite long. You are constantly switched on. And yeah, you have to be flexible, especially in the early going. You say yes a lot to people.
100%, man.
We touched on that last episode of you don't get to say no because you need to establish yourself. You need to get a client base. You need to have a lot of time available and you need to make it work because you don't want to say, oh, listen, no, I don't want to work Mondays at this time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah.
So I think like we both said, we needed to be mentally prepared and have a support crew behind us. You do need to be prepared when you're going to start out a coaching journey that you're going to have to invest a lot of time early on. You are going to have to put yourself out there, whether that is in front of people's eyes on the gym floor, whether that is social media. And it's not the most flexible in terms of mental bandwidth.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
That all being said, that is probably the only like semi-negative part of being a coach, like the fact that you can't switch off.
Yeah.
However, it is so fulfilling and the actual work part of it does not feel like work.
No, it's something you enjoy, man. It's like literally like writing programs and like, helping people through like mental barriers or just like, physical barriers and seeing people success, do success. It's awesome. Like you said, man, like rewarding. Like I've got 4 clients at the moment and each of them are going through a different thing, right? But like each of them have small wins throughout the week that just compound. And it's so awesome to see them write that in the check-in and just tell you about it. Like, it's just one of the most rewarding things. And I know obviously it's still very, very small scale, but just seeing little wins like that and then just seeing that you are able to change someone's life just by helping them get through a certain barrier is amazing, man. It's so amazing.
And you'll get to this point as well, but when you have a long-term client who might just be having a really bad week and they're having a little bit of a mental breakdown or they're getting a bit emotional, they're not really sure whether everything's all worth it, if they've made any progress, and then you have the check-in data there, or you have the start picture, or you have the starting number on a barbell squat that they wanted to improve on, and you go, hey, this is how you've progressed over the past 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And then they have that sense of elation and they're like, oh, that made me feel so much better knowing that I have actually made progress, or seeing it with their own eyes, like showing them day one versus day present.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling.
Without a doubt. And like same thing as like one of my clients, weighed in a bit heavy this week, but we looked at their check-in photos from week 1 to compared to week 6, and you can already see like visual difference. And I said, look, scale weight is literally one metric we track. photos are another metric, and you can see in these photos, you can see that there is clear difference between the two of them, and you have progressed some way. So and I mean, the same thing. Like, they only see the one bad week they've had. They've got that cloudy vision of, oh, it's just the worst week of my life. Everything's gone to shit. They don't have all that information. That years are on, and you can access that and go, hey, hang on a minute. This is where you started. This is where you are now. It's only 1 week in this grand scheme of 3 years. That's fuck all.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, well, let's chat, man. How do you start out getting into the fitness industry? So do you want to take this one, or do you want me to take this one?
I'll start. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, I will.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Well, I mean, if you haven't already followed along, but I mean, I've been doing a trainee to trainer series. And the whole point along this video is kind of to, build my brand and build myself out there in terms of being an online coach and personal trainer, because at the moment, obviously, I'm still a Sparky, but there'll be a time very, very soon in the near future where that trainee to trainer series will actually end, because I will have quit my job as a Sparky and will be moving full-time into a PT and online coach. So I think the biggest thing, like, starting, is trying to, you got to, as cliche as it sounds, you got to put yourself out there. You have to sell yourself, because no one is just going to randomly come across your profile or randomly see you on the street and go, oh, hey, look, he's a PT. I'm going to work with him. You have to sell yourself, and sometimes that's easier said than done.
Oh yeah,
because it's like basically saying, oh, look at me, I'm the best thing ever. Come work with me. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is kind of just put yourself out there, and you'll attract the type of people that you want to attract. Like, I hope that, with this series and, people following along, they get a look into who I am and how I hold myself and the things I do. And they work with me based on that merit, and also, merits of, what I'm able to achieve with other clients. But I think starting in the fitness industry is definitely a big thing and hard, because it is such a saturated field to begin with. There's a lot of online PTs. There is a lot of coaches out there. It's very saturated. So it's one of those.
It's saturated in sense of number of coaches, yes, but number of good ones, and number of ones that actually care.
Yeah.
It's not as saturated as everyone thinks. And I think that's the thing that I would say to anyone who's thinking about starting a coaching business, or even current coaches that are like slightly struggling with numbers, is show your passion. Like you said, with your trainee to trainer series, and like everything that you do around NBA bodybuilding, they can see that passion.
Yeah.
And all the best coaches that you'll see online, you can tell that they are authentic to who they are. They care about the clients that they have, and they're passionate about getting a result. You can instantly see the ones that are reading generic script off ChatGPT, only doing it as a paid ad because they want to go live in Bali and just sit by a pool with a fucking margarita in hand and say, yeah, looks good, mate. Same again next week.
Yeah.
As a text reply rather than the loom, because they don't want people to see them drinking said margarita. But yeah, I think that's the biggest bit of like advice for one, client acquisition and client retention is passion.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the early goings when you start out with a new client, the first 4 weeks can be rough for them. Like, they might not see an instant result in the first 4 weeks, especially if they're new to the gym. They might, be finding their feet. Nutrition might not be absolutely dialed. So like you say, scale weight might not move. They might not feel like they're getting anywhere. So how do you get them that result early? You show passion, and you get them to enjoy the sessions themselves, and you get them to enjoy the food that they're eating.
Yeah.
And that can't come if you're a boring personality and you stand there on your phone with your hand in your pocket while they're you're trying to build rapport and build a relationship with them.
Without a doubt. And I knew you touched on it before about, you need to kind of be on 24/7. I literally say this to, my 4 clients, because, obviously I don't have a big scale of things. So I want to give them absolutely everything I can offer, because, like, let's be real, these 4 clients are hopefully going to make me grow and hopefully, word of mouth continue to spread the word. But these 4 clients get everything. They need something middle of the week. They send me a text. I'm like literally on it, priority number 1. And that's because I care. Like, I say it to my clients in the check-ins, like, I truly care so much about their progression, their success. Like, I'm so invested in it, because they're my first ever clients, man. Like, they are literally what is starting me becoming an online coach. Like, my first ever client, after signing them up, I literally said, you are the reason I am now an online coach. Like, I'm getting to coach you like through it. It's wild. So like, I want to give them everything because they deserve it. And it's one of those
100%, man.
if you're truly passionate about something, you shouldn't have to go, oh, I have to help this client, or oh, this person's being so annoying. Oh, it's like, okay, sick. They have a problem. I know the solution. Let's work together and let's achieve it together.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And that's like I said before, you can't fake passion, man. Like if you get a check-in video from someone and it's 3 minutes long and it's just someone reviewing your data, going, yeah, okay, cool, that's all good. Yep, awesome. Same thing next week, yada yada. Then you're paying for the wrong service. You need someone that has that connection with you, has that is someone that can be vulnerable with you as well. Like, I mean, you've got to have some sort of professional, courtesy with coaching, but it also breaks that professional barrier a lot of the time because you need to be unprofessional sometimes with your clients and really connect with them.
There is a fine line between like being someone's therapist and like GP.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to deal with someone's emotional state and you need to be able to deal with the problems that they're having that week. Like I joke around with my clients all the time that I'm like part-time PT, part-time therapist, because, you get to the sessions themselves and you're like, oh, how's your week been? And it's like download of everything all at once. And you're like, oh, that's a bit going on.
But isn't that one of the also most rewarding things, that someone trusts you completely?
Trust you to give you that information.
All their problems and everything that's going in their life. Like, I think that's like honestly such one of the incredible parts about being an online coach is people put trust in you and have the faith that, you're able to help them with not just training, but like they're like literally their lifestyle.
Sometimes it's what they need, man. Sometimes it's like you just like stand back, let them talk, get them through a set, let them talk again. Like, 100%. And it just makes them feel better.
Yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, I mean, what's your take on it? How do you start in the fitness industry, man? Like what was your strategy in terms of starting as a PT, online coach? How did you sell yourself essentially? How did you put yourself out there?
Well, so my strategy was definitely coinciding with the end of my 2024 bodybuilding season, just trying to piggyback off that as a promotional thing.
Yep.
But I had already lined up a gig with Anytime Fitness in terms of working as a PT with them. I didn't realize that you can start an online coaching business without a Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. Mate, I really wish I knew that information.
Starting online fitness like tomorrow, mate. There's no like which is another crazy point that we should probably touch on.
Yeah. That's a whole nother issue. But yeah, I got my Cert 3 and 4 done and then started PTing there. I had 1 or 2 clients already lined up that were just mates, and they, similar to you, just wanted to, get into the gym, or they wanted to, shred down for summer. So got those 2 guys on board and was very thankful for the results that they put in. Same thing. They get a lot of your time because they're only 2 clients. Got a bunch of leads from the gym. So I think within my first month, I might have had 5 clients on the books. And it stayed at about that sort of level for a while. And then there was 1 male transformation, and then my first female weight loss transformation happened. And I had a really big boom at once. So was very much on the social media part of things, giving updates on, progress, filming clients in the gym, like just exercise bits, just putting as much out there as I possibly could. So it wasn't just constantly me on the Instagram page as well.
Yeah.
And that definitely helped, because as soon as I posted that female transformation, made bang, like 5, 6 inquiries in a day. Perfect. And then all of a sudden the client base went from 5 or 6 people maybe up to like 10 or 15 within maybe 3 weeks, which was probably a little bit quicker than what I was ready for. But I was like, got to do it. Got to say yes. Got to do it.
Were they just online coaching, or was that hybrid of coaching online as well as PTs?
As well as PTs, yeah. So I was still doing a fair bit of gym floor work at that time as well. But when you have the proof that you can get a result there, so like you might go up and you talk to someone on the gym floor, and all they can get is what you say. Sometimes they will think, oh, maybe they're just bullshitting me. Yeah. But if you give them your card or you give them your details, and they go and check out your Instagram page and they can see physical results there, that then just adds to your resume and it adds to the legitimacy of the coaching that you're offering. Yeah. So yeah, it was like a mixture of the two, and I'm probably still 50-50. Like I've constantly been 50-50. I think there was a stage where I was actually more in person than online, which it's really fun. I like the balance of the two.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have as much fun if I was just an online coach as I do having the hybrid between the two. But at the same time, you also do need online clients to supplement your in-person business. Otherwise, you will just get burnt out and you will not be able to see as many people as you could if you did have online clients. So I think the balance is good.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of similar to me. I mean, obviously, I don't have the PT side of things yet, which is, like, one thing it's definitely going to drive the Instagram page and kind of the business a little bit more further, because you can get, straight away client testimonies. You can put them on your Instagram, stuff like that. But I mean, I've just recently been starting to do like the client wins of the week when, I go into their sheet, put their wins, obviously with their approval, on the Instagram, and just show people what other people are achieving, completely anonymous. But yeah, I mean, like, I've definitely got a plan lined up. I'm actually not too sure how much of the plan I'm allowed to specify, so I'll update more next week after I've had a conversation. Okay. But yeah, the basic is, like, I'll eventually start doing on what's called weekend work, and just pumping that as long as I can. And then eventually, around the September, October time, we'll be making the quit from the Sparky job and going pretty much spending 24 hours, all day, every single day inside of a gym, basically
Full-time coach, baby.
Working as a PT. And I mean, like I said, it's one of those things I'm so excited for. And I think, it's definitely not something I know is going to be easy in terms of, you're starting at rock bottom. I'm a qualified electrician. I'm, very comfortable with my job at the moment. I've got a good role. I work with amazing people. Leaving that to basically go to rock bottom and to start all over again with basically, nothing towards my name. Because, let's be real, there's a lot of high quality coaches out there, high quality PTs that have already built up their business in years and have got the experience, have got the testimonies, got the progress photos and stuff like that. So I'm basically a very tiny fish in a big pond, but I'm so excited to grow, man. Absolutely.
That's the thing. It's like all of a sudden, like, because I assume that in your Sparky job, your ceiling is kind of set.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. You can go on to be a project manager and move up, but like, it's not really something I would want to do. Like, if I was going to stay as a Sparky, I want to be on the tools, man, because I enjoy it. I enjoy being on the tools.
Whereas now you're, like you say, starting at the bottom, but how high is your ceiling now? Like, how much room have you got to go up the ladder?
It's basically
heaps.
How much you give, man. It's quite literally the same analogy as the gym. The more you give, the more you get. Like, the weights don't care about your day. They do not care. You can go in there, you have a shit session, that's it. You go in there, you have a great session, fantastic. It's the same with your business. You put in a really, really, really solid month of work. You're probably going to see some dividends of that paying off. You don't show up for your clients. You're not really passionate about it. You're late to check-ins. You're late to meetings with people. Your business is going to fall. So no matter what, everything is based on you. It's what you give. Like, if you sink, sorry, what's the saying? If you
sink or swim.
Thank you. Sink or swim.
Yeah.
So it's all on you, which I think is incredible, because I'm the type of person that I set my mind to something, I achieve it. I do not, don't do anything half-assed. I'm ready for the challenge. And I think also too, I'm coming out of the sparking industry and into the fitness industry with such a supportive network of people, which I think is another thing of, if you are getting started in the industry, talk to people, like, reach out, like, start networking with people that are in that industry already and learn from them. Like, you've been in the industry for what, 2 years, a year and a half?
Yeah, a year and a half now.
Yeah. So, like, even these conversations where we have, I learn more about coaching and online coaching and PTing through you, and, conversations with mates, conversations with my coach, with other coaches, networking with other people that are already doing what you want to do is a fantastic way to learn and just soak up information, because they've already done the hard yards. They've already seen what's failed, seen what works, and you can kind of piggyback off that and go, oh, hey, I've got this idea, and they can go, yeah, maybe try this instead.
You're exactly right. And on the other end of the spectrum of that, you would be surprised, I am surprised at how many old friends, school friends, footy friends have inquired for coaching or have wanted to get, like, to be a client.
Yeah.
I always go, like, I'll get their inquiry form or they'll send me a message on Instagram. I'm like, really? I didn't pick you as the person who would want to be a client. But that's the thing, is, like, your network is already there. Like, probably 50 or 60% of your clientele base already follows you.
Yeah.
They're waiting for you to do the thing, or they're waiting to see if you have the skills to take them somewhere.
100%, man.
And they're just waiting for that to happen. So you need to show that you're passionate to your current audience as well as a new audience. So if you're posting to your Instagram reels, you're posting educational content, your Training the Trainer series is trying to bring in new eyes, yes, but you also need to nurture the eyes that are already there, because
100.
you never know, like, who'll come out of the woodwork. Like, old mate that you went to year 7 with and haven't spoken with since might come out and be your like most adherent client. Shout out Sammy DeCrew Woodstock. I hadn't spoken to since like year 8 or year 9, and then all of a sudden put in a massive amount of work. I'm sure he won't mind me shouting him out on the pod. But yeah, it's relationships like that where you just go, oh, I didn't expect that. But then all of a sudden they are adherent to the plan, hardworking, so dedicated to you, believe in themselves a lot more, believe in your coaching ability as well. They're right there ready for the taking. You just have to, one, either reach out to them. 2, you need to be on the gym floor if you're being an in-person PT and at least like talking to people. Like, I can't see the amount of trainers that have been in my gym or I've seen in other gyms that are just sitting in the office doing nothing. And I'm just like, mate, there's leads there if you go for them.
Literally, literally, it's so easy. And like, to touch back on the networking part, like especially with Instagram and like Facebook and stuff like that, people like, I don't know about you when you got Instagram, but like when I got Instagram, it was like year 7 or year 8 of high school. So like,
about the same time.
A lot of my Instagram followers at the start, or and probably still are, a lot of school people that I went to school with and networked through school. So they've seen me from where I, like basically rock bottom, where I started, like getting out of high school, being a tradie, working my way up. They've seen that journey. So them like just witnessing that journey, and they know who I am. Like you said, all it takes is them to just go, oh, you know what? I'm sick and tired of doing this by myself. I've known Timmsy for years, like, you know, just through his Instagram, I used to go to school with him, already have that connection. All it takes is them to reach out and go, yeah, this is it. I want to start.
100%, man. Now, in terms of, we touched on courses very quickly. Like, obviously, we've chatted about both done the Cert 3 and 4 in fitness to be able to in-person PT. We mentioned that you don't need any qualifications or courses to actually be an online coach, which is very dodgy. Have you looked at additional courses or thought about, extra education? What are you thinking?
There's definitely I definitely want to learn. Like I said, I want to be a sponge in this industry. And we touched on that last episode about, if you walk into a room thinking you're the smartest person, you're just, you're
fucked.
You're gone. So I definitely want to be a sponge and learn as much as I can through as many people as I can. And I mean, I'm thankful enough to have, people like yourself, people like Mads, Scotty, MG, MT, all those boys that consistently, feed me information and help me, become a better coach and better online PT. But I definitely want to do a nutrition course. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked into it purely for the fact that I want to just nail this Cert 3 and 4 first, get that over and done with. And, I don't want to put too many of my eggs in all these different baskets. I've already got them spread across, obviously building Instagram, social media, the Cert 3 and 4, online coaching, everything like that. So I want to, focus my attention on the one thing that I need to start. And then once I get that, I definitely want to go down the sports nutrition side of things, potentially, a few more years down the track, go to uni. I've never been to uni, just to clarify.
I was going to say, is this another like your secret prep that I didn't know about?
I've never been to uni. So yeah, definitely, there is definitely more courses out there that I want to learn. I want to do as much as I can. And I think it also relates back to the more you learn, the more you're able to help clients in a better way, in a more efficient way. And you're able to not just see, not just to see a problem and like not really know what to do with it. You can see a problem and go, oh, you know what? I learned this a couple of years back, and this relates to this for this particular reason, and have that, kind of memory and the filter of, how to help people in certain situations. So there's definitely, more courses out there that I want to learn. I definitely want to learn more. Just not too sure what type of direction I'm going to go to after this.
Yeah. What about fair? And, so when I did my Cert 3 and 4, I did mine through a company called Clean Health.
Yep.
Amazing company, and they included a bunch of supplementary courses as well around training and nutrition itself. So it wasn't a Cert 4 in nutrition, but it was, they called it Performance Nutrition Coach.
Yep.
So definitely gained some knowledge out of that, but it wasn't like an official certificate. So that helped me immensely, I would say, just being able to give recommendations. I'll go out on a limb. I'll be the one to say it. The Cert 3 and 4 in fitness is shit. You learn absolutely nothing new from it. So having those additional courses was really good. And I'm now doing my Cert 4 in nutrition to be able to give out meal plans.
Awesome.
So similar to you, like wanted to just get started, knew I was going to go down that path later, but I thought, look, I'll just start out with training and macros, see how that goes. And it definitely works to a certain extent. And you can obviously like recommend frameworks and stuff like that. But you get to the point where you go, as you said, I've run into this problem. I know what will fix it. I can give you the solution.
Yeah.
But you need the certificate to be able to do it legally and also just from an ethical standpoint. So that is what I'm working away at the moment. And like further down the line, I'll probably take a little bit of a break from courses for maybe a year or so. But further down the line, we'll definitely look at some comp prep specific ones.
Yeah. There's more and more coming out now. Like there's,
like SNA one's really good. Is it JPS that Brandon Kempter's one of the?
They've put out like a 2.0 version or something like that. So
that's one that I've looked at,
which is fantastic, man. Like there's more. Like it's like anything. This industry is just like continuing to grow. And it's fantastic because, like you said, the Cert 3 and 4 is just, in my opinion, a waste of time. But seriously though, like I knew just purely because, I've been coached for 4 years by Scotty. And if anyone doesn't know, Scotty, he's a very, very smart man. I don't know all the certificates he has, but he's got a lot. He's writing a paper. Yeah, he's a very, very smart man. But
he's done some shit.
Yeah, he's done some shit. That's very, very true. But just like my nutrition and training literacy, just from hearing his checking videos and like being with him for 4 years, and the way he doesn't just program something, he programs it and then tells you why. And then, for instance, like a creatine, like he went on like a 10-minute ramble about how he was doing anecdotally creatine, like loading creatine in terms of, offsetting jet lag. And he's like, at the time I was doing shift work. So he's like, why don't you give it a shot? Let's see how you, how you go with it. So I was loading, I think, what was it, like 20 grams over 3 days or something, so over 2 days or something like that when I came off night shift. And what do you know? I felt fucking phenomenal like literally coming out of it. So, there's all this information that you just...
that definitely goes beyond the Cert 3 and 4, doesn't it?
And that's one check-in video that I got from him. Like you compile 4 years worth of weekly check-ins. There's so much information that I've just learned just by listening to him critique me. So let's be real. I found the Cert 3 and 4 quite boring.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
It was definitely just a lot of trying to get through it. Like, come on, let's just get through it.
Get me there. And we spoke about like the oversaturation of the coaching biz at the moment. You can see why there are some shit coaches.
Yeah,
like no offense to anyone, and I don't want to call anyone out, but people that would go cold turkey and haven't been in fitness or been in gyms or been coached by anyone before, that would just go straight into the Cert 3 and 4. If that was all the knowledge you had, you would be horrendous.
Yeah.
Because there's not much in there.
Like even just the tempo, like one of the questions I remember in my Cert 3 was like, it was like, what's the like most optimal tempo for hypertrophy?
For the music.
And music as well. Yeah.
That drove me nuts.
It's wild. But like this one, like explicitly, because it was like the tempo was something ridiculous. It was like 4-3, 4-1 or some stupid shit. And I'm like, no one holds it for that long. Like, trust me.
That's a good set of isotonics, mate. I've given that to someone before. Ask Scotty about isotonics.
I know, but it's not the most optimal. Like, it was definitely not what I was, or when I read the question, it wasn't what I was picturing. But regardless, the Cert 3 and 4 is very basic. And I mean, it's a fantastic starting point for people that haven't, like like we said, wanted to start in the industry. It's a perfect starting point, but it is not the bread and butter of it all. There is so many in it, and so many places that need, areas that need to be filled. So yeah, I did find it quite boring, and still currently do, because I'm not completely finished yet. But it's just one of those things you have to do to get into the space.
And to be able to be insured and like from a safety perspective, like you do need it to be on the gym floor. And like, to be fair as well, there are plenty of online coaches out there now that don't have their Cert 3 and 4 that have more knowledge than people that have done their Cert 3 and 4.
Without a doubt.
It's just one of those like double-edged swords of, you need it to be able to do it, but it's not the be all.
Which is kind of why I want to like learn more in terms of like courses, because I didn't get that fulfillment out of the Cert 3 and 4. I didn't get that satisfaction as like, oh shit, I've learned something new. It's like, okay, I'm reading information that I already know about, and it's like, just, like I said, it was boring. So I want something to scratch that back of the itch, because I am very much motivated and excited to learn as much as possible. So in terms of that, I definitely need something to scratch that itch. So after the Cert 4 is done, I'm definitely going to be looking into courses where I'm actually learning information that I had no idea about.
What about systems and software, mate? So actually like running the coaching part of the business. Tell me about what your plan is in terms of, any training apps or nutrition apps, anything like that. What are you doing in terms of systems and software?
At the moment, I'm doing Excel spreadsheets for my clients' data and stuff.
Old school.
Yeah, look, it's hard because I've only ever used Excel spreadsheets because obviously I've been with Scotty for 4 years, and when I was with Cole, I would see him every day pretty much because I trained at his gym, so it was all on paper. So I've never really experienced I've heard Kahunas is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I can get more out of Excel spreadsheets in terms of, kind of lay it out how I want. And I'm still playing around with it. Like I have the spreadsheet that my clients are currently on, but in the background, I'm like working on a much better system that I will be implementing once I literally get it perfect, which is so much harder than I thought.
Oh my God.
Excel spreadsheet, man, it's wild, but it's fantastic once you kind of get your head around it and start. Like I literally watched a 15-minute YouTube video yesterday of how to get one column to do something that I wanted to do. Just because I had the vision, I've seen it before, I know it can work, I just didn't know how to execute. So I think Excel spreadsheets is definitely the way I'm going to go moving forward, unless I use Kahunas or potentially see more of a benefit. I mean, I haven't personally used it for myself in terms of being a client or I haven't really had a good look at it in a sense. So I think that's something I might potentially have a look at, just, do a trial run of it, see how.
Especially in the early going, like we said, you need to, you start out with not a lot of money coming in the system 100%. And you need to build a client base. Excel spreadsheet's free.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things you have to weigh up. Do you want to pay for a training app or do you want to use a free thing that you can sort of structure better?
Yeah. And I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't had the exposure to it. So I think that's definitely something when I, obviously leave being a Sparky and have a bit more free time on my hands, definitely something I want to trial run. But for now, I mean, I'm confident with Excel spreadsheets. My clients, obviously that are with me know how to use it, and I've got no, bad feedback from them in terms of they don't like it or anything like that. So for now, I'm using that.
And then do they just use MyFitnessPal in terms of nutrition tracking?
So they'll use MyFitnessPal to track, send me photos of their MyFitnessPal along with their food. Same with off-plan meals. If they have an off-plan meal, I literally just get them to snap a photo of it, and it gives me an idea because sometimes they might say, "Oh yeah, I had a Parma and chips," but we all know you can go to a pub and get some Parma and chips, or you can go to a different restaurant and the Parma comes out like this. So
we've just run into our first issue as podcast co-host. Parma.
Oh, don't no.
No.
You're on an island. You're small on an island. Don't even start. It is not.
No. Hold on. I'm claiming the Italian heritage bit here in this argument. You are so wrong. There is no way it's Parma.
No,
it's Parmi.
It's not Parmigiana.
How's it spelled? How is it spelled?
Words are spelled differently and sound differently. It's Parmigiana.
No, it's not. It's Parmigiana.
No bullshit. I'll die on the hill,
mate. Learn to read. It's Parmi.
Hey, that's rude. I'm dyslexic and you know it. That's so rude.
I didn't know that. I'm glad I called it out now.
All right, well, you know what? We'll debate this in the comments, and I'll put a poll up on the story when this video goes live.
Yeah,
Parma or Parmi?
Done.
It is Parma. I'm going to. It's Parma.
There's no way. It's Parmi.
There needs to be a way we can settle this. I know this debate has gone on forever, but there needs to be someone that from the head of the dictionary or whoever creates words goes, yeah, it's actually Parma.
This is another conversation, but this is part of BTP. We chat some shit, and let's zoom out. Let's take our feelings out of this equation at the moment. Why is it that different states in Australia have different names for certain things? So I feel like it's a very Victorian thing to say Parma.
Yeah.
There's a few other states that will say Parmi. What do you call a deep fried circle bit of potato?
A deep fried circle.
So we say potato cake. But then,
we say potato. Like fish and chips.
Cake.
Potato cake, yeah.
Yeah, so potato cake. But then some states, I think it's South Australia or New South Wales, say potato scallop.
Yeah, scallop.
And I'm like,
no.
Where does this come from?
No,
how does that happen?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not. Yeah, it's crazy though. But it's the same with alcohol pints and stuff. Like
Oh, yes.
different states have like different classification for what a pint is, what a schooner
Imperial
is.
pint,
Yeah,
schooner,
bro. Like,
midi. Yeah.
It's crazy to think that like even traveling across to America. I know we're going off on a tangent here, but America, they use feet and inches. Like, what the fuck? Like, just why can't we all just be universal on one code? It's
Mate, why is Australia still using kilojoules?
Yeah, fair point.
Speaking of getting started in the fitness industry, though, when you run into your first client that freaks out that they've eaten over their calorie intake in one single sitting
literally
by like 3,000, and then you go, oh, look, I know exactly what you've done. You've just tracked it as kilojoules and not kilocalories. Hilarious moment. I remember like someone freaking out being like, dude, I haven't had any food, but I've eaten over my intake by 1,000. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, but tying it all back into my client having a Palmer, I literally just get them to take a photo of it and send it to me, because I'm like, a Palmer could be very different in sizes or like the amount of sauce it is. Just as a way, it's like when they write it in the check-in that they had an off-plan meal, I can now pair that with the visual representation of what they sent me and go, okay, that's fairly sized big meal, probably worth this amount of calories. Can kind of break it down for them and go, okay, next morning when you stepped on the scale when you're up, probably because of the sodium in this meal, probably because you're holding on to a bit more water, it's not something to stress about. So, I don't even know where we got off on that, but
no, I was very. That was systems. We were talking about our systems and software.
Systems, of course. So and then all client conversations and stuff like that are via WhatsApp. Obviously, if they follow me on Instagram or vice versa, they can contact me there. But majority of the stuff is based on WhatsApp, just purely because I can bring it up on the computer, and it helps keep everything in one area. But yeah, what about yourself, my guy? What do you use?
Yeah, so messaging, WhatsApp as well. Same thing as you can bring it up on the computer, but also I was like, I don't chat to anyone on WhatsApp. So if I get a WhatsApp notification, I know it's a work thing.
Yeah. Was it similar to me? Like right now, all my actual like Sparky work, all the group chats are on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is only work.
Yeah. So it makes it 10 times easier. I did go straight to a training app. So I went to Kahuna's. I really like Kahuna's for the aspect of its training program and nutrition tracker in the same app.
Yeah.
So instead of getting clients to screenshot stuff and send it to me, I've got track of their stuff, like their nutrition logs. So I can go and have a look at that straight away. And it's just all integrated in the same spot rather than going between MyFitnessPal, Trainerize, HubFit, whatever, ever app you want to use.
Just on that, we'll pick your brain for a second. So does it actually have like a system inside in terms of like you scan a barcode and it tells you, okay, what?
Yeah.
So it's like MyFitnessPal inside of Kahuna's.
Built into it, yeah. So
is it accurate? Is it like this?
It's pretty accurate. Some of the measures, like some things won't pop up on there.
Yeah.
It's a UK-based app.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the stuff on there is UK-based measures. So I've had some clients that have come from MyFitnessPal and they say, oh, this specific food isn't in there. But it's very easy to create your own food. You just press create food, write what name it is, and then if you type in the serving size off the back of the nutrition label, it will then convert it. Like if you did 2 servings of this, it'll convert. So I find it quite easy for that aspect, and super easy in terms of check-ins, daily check-ins, all that sort of stuff is built into it as well. You can create your own check-in form. So it was a no-brainer for me. And I remember I saw an Instagram pop up for a reduced price when it first came up. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in on that. I was using it at the time as a client as well.
Yeah.
So I knew what it looked like on the back end, which was very, very handy.
Yeah.
And then
what do you pay for it?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. So
it's like a yearly membership, yeah? Or monthly?
Yeah, you can do it monthly, but I decided to do yearly just to keep it at the same time as all my insurance payments and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, use that. And then the only other real system that I've just started using for PT bookings is Timely, which is a calendar organizer. So basically when I first got started, I would just hand book everyone in my own calendar, and you're kind of working around their schedule, messaging them constantly, trying to find spots that would fit them. That was just getting a little bit too much to handle with a fair few people, and especially on prep. So to save myself a little bit of time, I went and found Timely. So basically I post a link in a group chat each week, and then clients just go and book in their PT sessions. There'll be a bunch of available time slots for them to book in.
Yep.
And they can book like up to 2 weeks in advance. So, you know, they can book the next fortnight in one go.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to write that down real quick.
Yeah, no, it saves.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be using it. Timely.
Yeah. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't need a booking system. I'll just do it myself. I'll save money on it. But it gets to that point where it's like the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah,
and that's where you've got to start systemizing, and you've got to sort of have ways of, one, getting lead generation, two, of saving time so you can give better service to your clients. You know, if I'm spending my Saturday and Sunday chasing up people who might just not be on their comms for some reason, or they're trying to sort out their work roster, they don't know, and I've got to waste energy and they've got to waste energy trying to do that, or they can do it in their own time. When their work roster comes out, they can go and alter it themselves rather than asking me for permission to change time or whatever. And then I can put more energy and effort into check-ins, updates, making sure that the service is exactly where it needs to be. But yeah, they're my main ones, really. And then Easy Debit as a direct debit payment system.
Yeah. No, it's
pretty easy.
Very good system. I'm going to definitely look into Timely, because I think that's something that I'll definitely be needing, especially because when I do start out, I'm going to be, balls to the wall in terms of, just putting myself out there and getting as many clients as I can and just getting my name out there. So it's definitely going to be handy.
Yeah, Timely's great.
Having something like that to just booking clients. Well, I think that's probably a wrap on the episode. I'm just looking at the time.
Well, yeah, we did go for a while. Look, we did put at the bottom of the agenda one piece of advice that each of us would give to a aspiring coach or someone who's just starting out in the fitness industry. So, Timmsy, you're the host, mate, but I will ask you, what's your one piece of advice for an aspiring coach?
I was thinking about this, and I think it definitely relates back to me, but I think the biggest thing is just be true to yourself. Don't try and, match the influencer norms or match what's happening online. Just be true to yourself and, post yourself as who you are and, the type of person that you want to be, and the people and the clients will come because of what you bring and who you are and the value you bring to the table. So biggest piece of advice is just be true to yourself. Don't fake the type of person you are. I think that's really important in today's day and age as well. Just showing that genuine care and being that genuine person that's not, fake behind a lens. Like, I've mentioned this to a few people, but anyone that knows me, if you watch the Trader to Trainer series compared to me in real life, there is not a single bit that fucking changes. That's who I am.
That is how you make your bed every morning.
That is how I make my bed every morning. And mind you, shout out to the glutes in those pre-morning things. If just take a look at the glutes next time. They're 3 leg days a week are working.
Mate, I wasn't looking anywhere else. I was just looking at the glutes.
Well, I will say this before I ask you the same question, but pre-recording, I did ask Julian to show me his glutes, and
I can't believe you said that.
The quality is not very good on these cameras, but man, I could see some definite lines. So he's definitely looking where he needs to be. Not there, but
I'm glad the recording wasn't on at that point.
So what about yourself, Mr. Pang? What would your one piece of advice be?
Yeah, I've thought about this a fair bit, and I think it's the advice that I would give my younger self as well, and it's invest in yourself, invest in yourself, but also investing time with certain things. So as we've already spoken about, the Cert 3 and 4 shit, and it's not going to teach you much. So investing time into additional courses and additional education, as well as like additional funds into that. But one of the things that I'm a big believer in is investing your time being a client and being trained by someone else. Yeah. So one of the biggest things for me was my first coaches used a specific training app that I really didn't like as a client. I found it a pain in the ass to use. So when I decided that I was going to become a coach, that was one of the bigger options. But I was like, no, I don't want to use that because I know as a client, it's a pain. The programs print out like shit. It's super hard in terms of user interface. But I knew from being a client of someone who used Kahunas that was really easy on the back end. And everything that I program, I know what that comes out like for the client. 100%. Just as well as, your onboarding systems. So how you get people onto the app itself, the actual service part of everything. So like you say, you've had 4 years of experience from Scotty giving you these massively in-depth check-ins and pieces of anecdotal advice. Like, I believe everyone should invest in being a client for at least like 3 months, 6 months to see what it's like to be that person.
Yeah.
Because it will mean that when you get to a point where someone's getting frustrated with something, you know how to problem solve.
Yeah.
And I also think as well, you can learn from a coach a lot of things. Like, we've both spoken about how much we've learned from Scotty. You obviously have been with him for 4 years. I've been with him for fucking 8 weeks. But have learned so much in my time. And I've learned something from each and every single one of my coaches. You know, Boris, Mark, Sarah, I have learned from something from each of them. And I take that forward with me. So I honestly think, like, invest in people's time, go chat to other coaches, as you said, and just, invest in getting a little bit more education for yourself before jumping in headfirst and thinking, oh, I wish I knew what it was like.
Yeah, and it's like just jumping off the back of that, being with Scotty, it's not just he hasn't just taught me about training and nutrition. Like, he's just taught me how to be a better person as well. Like, you don't just get that out of being a client from someone. And coaching shouldn't just be as blunt as, okay, this is your training, this is your nutrition. You should be, getting better in all facets of your life because because you're improving yourself. So
it's beyond the program. It goes beyond the program.
I was
this is
trying
why
not
we
to
named
plug
it that. No, man, we're plugging it. We're plugging it.
No, I'm absolutely plugging it. Okay, Mr. Pang, in tradition of ending the podcast, what is your rogue get to know you question?
All right. Look, Palmy versus Palmer is definitely that is one of them, but we'll let people deliberate on that. My one for you, Timsy, is peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
I'm a smooth guy.
Explain.
I will explain it very easily. I put it into a shake, and I also put it into my cream of rice, and I like my consistency quite smooth. So simple as that. I mean, I probably, to be honest, I haven't had crunchy peanut butter in a long time, but I also just like smooth peanut butter. It's just a simple thing. No texture to it. It's easy to mix with cream of rice, easy to put into a shake. I'm a smooth man.
Yeah, I am the same as you, and for the same reason as you. Like, I don't have peanut butter anymore, unfortunately. Scotty, come on, mate, sort that out. But yeah, I would mix it into my oats and stuff like that, and just having the crunchy bits not quite mixed through as well was kind of annoying. Yeah. I will say, back when I was a kid, I was crunchy on toast, so maybe that's a little bit different. Yeah. But yeah, it's been smooth for a while now.
As well, and you'll probably experience this if you get it back into your nutrition.
Doesn't look like it, mate.
Sucks to be you. But I remember explicitly in prep, because I obviously didn't have enough as much. I would put it into my coffee shop mug, my amount, and I would then put it into the microwave and heat it for 30 seconds, stir it, then heat it for another 30 seconds, and almost use it as like a whey drip.
To try and volumize it a bit?
No, not even. It wasn't even that. It was just more so it was one of those things
to drizzle it.
Yeah, one of those things in prep with my food, because I ate so quickly in prep. Like you always do, you swap to a teaspoon so you can slow yourself down. I made all my food so bloody beautiful. Like, it looked immaculate. So I made sure the sway of the peanut butter, the sway of the whey drip was all beautiful.
Yeah.
The bananas around the side, the 2 bits of chocolate in the middle. It was bellissimo. Just to kind
now in off-season 5,000 calorie territory, it's like, fuck it, all in a blender.
Yeah, I literally don't give a fuck. I put, like I say, it's literally 1,200 calorie shake in a blender, and I just neck it. So
that's wild.
Yeah, definitely a smooth man. So that's an interesting one. But yes, in the comments below this video, let us know. If when Pang's wrong, because it's not Palmy. Let me know that I'm right. It's Palmer. And let us know
when the dyslexic guy figures out how to say.
And also let us know about if you are soft or hard peanut butter.
You got to be very careful saying soft or hard peanut butter.
Soft or crunchy. Oh my God. Hey, we've been
talking or crunchy.
Oh my God.
Soft or hard peanut butter? No, that's a question.
That is a question.
Actually, that would make sense though. The Kraft shitty peanut butter, that is quite hard. Whereas a Mavis is quite
you could literally drink it. It's
yeah.
Wait, are you a Mavis peanut butter?
Yeah, big Mavis dude. Yeah, big time.
I used to be in prep. I was this is a whole other tangent, but in prep I was explicitly the Bega one, purely because Scotty put it in my meal plan, and I didn't want to change it.
That's That's my favorite story about you, but we're going to save that for next episode. I'm going to say that for next episode, but that is my favorite story about you. Oh, best story.
That's a good one.
Best story.
We'll save it. We'll save it. All right. Well, we'll end it there considering we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. So thank you very much, everyone. If you've made it this far into the video, we do appreciate you listening and hope that you found some sort of value out of myself and Pang talking some smack. But yeah, that's a wrap on episode 2 of BTP. We will catch you all for next week's episode. Adios.